Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I see Jake Teen. I see Mariah. How you guys doing today? How you guys doing? Gosh, my hair is getting really long, isn't it? But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. I might just ditch the headphones. I probably won't hear the music then. But, no, I'll leave them on so I can hear the music, because I want to make sure it's still playing. But yeah, how you guys doing? Are you guys excited for the latest Pokemon news? What? Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus? Or Arceus? Yeah, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? So I feel like I saw some weird like glitchiness happen in the stream. There was some weird glitchiness in the stream, but it's okay. That's strange. Diamond and Pearl remakes! Yeah, the things that like the internet has been wanting since like when? Like gonna find FINI. Let's get the code put in. I'm gonna reset going on Regigigas. Yeah, the games that like the internet has been craving since ORAS came out. You know, every game that was announced after ORAS was a disappointment if it wasn't Diamond and Pearl remakes. And they're finally happening. A little bit of a twist to them too. So we'll see what like the general consensus is going forward. When does everyone start asking for Gen 5 remakes? Like now. If not already. Honestly, like as much as you kind of joke like haha, and like I joke like haha, people will immediately start asking for them. People have already been asking for them. I feel like honestly, in the past year, you know, that I've been like on and off streaming, I've had more people wanting Black and White remakes than Sinnoh remakes up until like the Diamond and Pearl rumors started really floating around. So they've already been asked for. Not a big fan of the art style, not gonna lie, but it's fine. You're gonna get used to it. For the like Diamond and Pearl remakes, as soon as it first showed up, I was like, oh no. I'll be honest, like I was like, ooh, but I think it's one of those things where Mel pointed this out. The lighting's a little bit funky, but it really reminds me, and the memes are obviously already going around, so it's not like I'm alone in this. It looks like the Link's Awakening remake, which really makes sense. I mean, they're imitating the old sprite-based tile design, the tile-based sprite design that they had before. That's what that ends up looking like. A big head, a small body, you know, not much room for animation there. And I think the any kind of off-puttingness that I have, like being off-put by it that I have, comes almost solely from it being weird, right? Like, at their core, it looks like the games are going to be near identical remakes with, like, 8-direction movement instead of 4-direction movement. That's the only difference I've seen so far. Yo, Mayu, welcome to the stream. Don't we all want to see N in 3D? Here we go. Here we go. We already want someone wanting the remakes. I will say, I mentioned this, I tweeted this out earlier today, that like, last night, I mentioned to a couple friends, like, I was like, so ready to gloat today that I called this so many years ago. I called this before USUM was announced. I called this back in like 2016. When people were like, oh, we want the like Diamond and Pearl remakes will be nice. I was like, I mean, I said there would either be a Sun and Moon 2 or Diamond and Pearl remakes, and if there was a Sun and Moon 2, which became USUM, then like 2020 to 2022 we would get Sinnoh remakes as part of Gen 8. I called that. I am proud of calling that. I called that, I guess before the Switch was out, even. I will say I called it. Not in a million years would I have called it the way it happened, though, so I can't take any credit for that. Alright, it looks like we were probably going to be doing an AI raid for this first raid of the night. Makes sense, you know, getting things going, getting things sped up. It's Friday night, usually those start slow and finish pretty strong. So yeah, we'll quit this, we'll do a local battle instead. But yeah, no, that was the announcement of like 100% true to form remakes by a different developer than Game Freak. Still directed by Masuda, but like by a different like company. And Legends, no way I could have called any of that. Legends looks really cool. I'll wait for more people to, I guess, to be here maybe before like really going deep into it. But like, it looks interesting. It looks really interesting, and that was the one that I definitely was like really excited for when it popped up. But, you know, first impressions are very different from what, like, your impressions later on end up necessarily being. Not saying, like, oh, my impressions are terrible, or, like, oh, this game looked great, it's going to be terrible, or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But it's one of those things where it's in the same vein as, like, that initial kind of, like, ooh, reaction I had to the Sinnoh art style. To the what, BDSP, I guess is kind of what people are calling it, which is really easy to slip up on some stuff, but... okay, what do we want? Electric and grass is probably what I'm gonna decide here. You know, so it's one of those things where we have many months. It looks like we have about a year until Legends, so there's time to, like, see things and kind of think things through. It'll be interesting. I'm really excited to see what comes out of all of this. Called this back when Oras was made. See, for me, the question was, what was the pattern going to be for the remakes? And I know that, like, that's kind of immediately a dumb question. Game Freak has admitted that they want to keep the audience on their toes, and clearly they can do it. The fact that, like, people were starting to be able to predict what was happening, you know, people had this whole idea of the 3-spoke cycle coming out now of main game remake / like sequel Let's Go. Like, people started kind of seeing that. They threw it off entirely. I mean, a different dev making the Sinnoh remakes, to the point that the Sinnoh remakes almost look more like a spin-off than, like, Legends does, despite Legends being under a different subtitle, like a subtitling of, like, a separate series. It's crazy. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see more about it all. I'm curious how the game will work, since it's not Game Freak making the remakes. Will they do more than Game Freak would for remakes, or less? They were very, very clear and very explicit that they were, like, faithful remakes. Basically saying, like, don't worry, these games are, like, you wanted Sinnoh remakes and you didn't want us to mess them up? Fine. We're just gonna make Sinnoh again in a different engine. That's the vibe I get from it, is, like, they are, aside from a couple very, very tiny little changes, like I mentioned, the diagonal walking, aside from, like, the minor changes needed just to... Honestly, it's probably just running on the Link's Awakening engine if Nintendo would let them. I would not be surprised. I joke there. I imagine it's probably a different engine. It's probably its own engine. Pokemon tends to do that. Yeah, honestly, like, they're probably going to be pretty dead-on remakes. It will be interesting to see if they handle events, like, you know, Arceus or Darkrai or Shaman events or anything like that, how they handle those. But it looks like very faithful remakes with however they're going to do the bottom screen functionalities. So they're going to do like Poké Radar and things like that. But it looks like it's just going to be Diamond and Pearl, but in 3D. That's what it looks like it's going to be. And as one of your favorite characters, yeah, I mean, it has been interesting over the years watching Hoenn be the best games of all time, and also Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then all of Gen 4 being the best of all time, and now it's Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Gen 5 is slowly becoming where people consider it the best games of all time. It's very interesting to watch that happen, because it has happened. In about the span of when Gen 3 would have been ending to when Gen 4 happened to Gen 5, and realistically, when the first people to have played those games are, like, getting to the point where they can have nostalgia for them and have the money to buy them again. And it's funny. It's very funny watching it happen. Because, yeah, I know, like, back when I started streaming, honestly, like, 90% of chat would have told you that Black and White were the worst games to ever been made. And now you look at the chat now and people are like, Unova remakes, yeah! I had no problem with them. I didn't play them, so I had no problem with them. I called it when you were 2 years old. That's how genius you are. J-Teen with the big brain. Want them to make a Legends game for every generation. That'd be sick. It would be really cool. It would be really cool to have, like, a whole... Honestly, like, that's kind of an idea. I'm going to catch up on chat and then I'll probably go into that. But, like, I would love to have Legends be, like, its own running series of games if Legends does well. I can't say, oh, I want it to be this, because then I'm going to hype up what it is. It depends on what we end up seeing Legends be, but I have a feeling that if their new era statement alongside Legends is true, we're going to be seeing a lot more of these games if these do well, and I'm excited. Love the Diamond Pearl remake's art style and can't wait for the Arceus game, right? Yeah, Dragon Tamer, welcome to the stream, by the way. How you doing? I do want to swap Pokemon here. Yo, Juan, welcome to the stream. Love how both games are looking. Hope they don't blow it. I also hope they don't blow it. I think that is a fairly agreed upon sentiment. I mean, it's one of those things where it feels like Snap. Again, I'll continuously say Unite was the bottom, and Snap is the sign of them recognizing what they need to do to kind of right the ship. So I really, really hope that these games keep righting the ship, and they don't make it stumble harder. Because, I mean, I think as much as so much of the Pokemon community can be negative towards any kind of change or any kind of stagnation, really the Pokemon community is large enough that, like, any vocal minority, anyone that any opinion, a negative opinion about the games has groups that have audiences larger than like fans of other franchises at this point, right? Like that's not unthinkable, right? Like Pokemon is the most successful franchise in like history, legitimately in history, as far as like media franchises. Its fan base is so large that honestly, like, there are other massive series that have smaller fan bases than chambers of the Pokemon community that share opinions, like, have in size. So, you're always gonna have, like, people who wanted Gen 4 or wanted Sinnoh in Gen 8 engines the exact same way Gen 8 is with Dynamax. Honestly, that specific of a group has a massive following. So like, you're always not going to please everyone. You're always going to see that, and the Pokemon community can be extremely negative, especially online after these announcements. But I'm excited. I am intrigued to see how this goes, and I am really, really hopeful. And I honestly think, I guess really what I was saying is, I think even out of all those negative groups, they all want Game Freak to succeed. They all want Pokemon to succeed. I think at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I definitely just made a loud noise in the mic. At the end of the day, like, that's what we all want, right? We want these games to do well. We want Game Freak to do well. We want the games to be good. So, I mean, I know some people wanted Sword and Shield to fail so that Game Freak would, you know, change their ways and stuff. And it's like, I think at the core of it, what they want is a good thing, but like the end goal, I think they want to be a good thing. But it's the way you get there, I think, is what differs between people. Yikes, that was a lot of damage on Jellicent. Would you say these remakes would be better called remasters instead of remakes? Probably. It'll depend on if they do add any other content. Because, I mean, like, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, it's not like, oh, we took our assets and we scaled them up. It's like they did have to remake this game from the ground up in a new engine to be 3D. Like, there's nothing around that. Like, I feel like a remaster would be, hey, here's Pokemon, or like here's a like a remaster would be if they had taken Gen 4 purely as what it was as a DS game and ported it to the 3DS, still 2D, but with like much higher quality sprites, and maybe they fixed the fact that it takes literally like 30 seconds to knock out a Blissey. Like, you know, things like that, like very small little tweaks, but mostly just a graphical overhaul. Which you could say that's what the new Sinnoh games are, or what the remakes are. But they're 3D. They made it to 3D, and they made everything 3D. So I think that changes the like playing field a little bit in terms of what to call it. You're playing Let's Go right now. Your rival is called Tony. 3 guesses who you named him after. Tony the Tiger. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with what Juan said. Never If Cynthia's an Impossible to Beat. They're definitely not remasters if that's the case. Saucing some code cards. Back to Pokemon again. Didn't feel motivated until now. Honestly, I get that. I was very unmotivated to play Pokemon until Crown Tundra came out and we had the new Regis to hunt and these Dynamax adventures. Until we got those, I was definitely not You know, there's a reason. There's multiple different like reasons why I took pretty much a year and a half off of streaming, and one of them was, I mean, I gotta like what I'm streaming, and I wasn't feeling it as much, you know. So, but you know, I've been motivated, and the announcement has me excited. The announcement has me very hopeful. As someone who tends to not be a massive fan of change, I am hesitant, but that's just me. I know that's me. I know that I have been proven wrong in terms of like, oh, change could be bad. Many times in the past, change can be very good. So this is just such a drastic difference from, I think, what a lot of people would have expected from the announcement, that I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant, but I'm hopeful. Yo, Just Art, welcome to the stream. I really want to build a shiny hunt Arceus. That would be really awesome. That would be very cool. I wonder how it'll work in Legends. Wonder what starter you'll pick in Legends. It's a mystery, right? No one knows what I'll pick. Good old roulette. I really like the fact that like they just picked old starters. I mean, like, it makes sense. I mean, they even like the Pokemon Twitter account called them pre-makes. Like, they're prequels. They're prequels. So like, you can't have was like, you can't have new Pokemon in there. Like, it would make literally no sense to have new Pokemon in that game. So we're not going to see any new Pokemon in Legends, I doubt. Maybe some kind of new mythical. We might see some level of new mythical, but I really think they're going to focus fully on Arceus being the new one. Or Arceus, as the official thing is. The roulette period. At 98% of your programming midterm. Yo, JT, congrats, man. Yeah, so I've caught up on chat, so I guess I can ramble a bit about Legends. I'm excited for Legends. I think it marks a very, like, they even said it marks a new era in Pokemon. They said that, and I 100% agree, you know. And I think we might be seeing kind of a shift, or a split even, in terms of, I would love if we could get another set of games that are like hardcore games that are a spin-off, like Legends, or like what like Coliseum and stuff was, right? Where it's like, it's a full-blown game with different mechanics and everything, but like, it's a full-blown game that came out alongside Pokemon like regular and everything. And I would love to see if Legends ends up being as great as I want to think it will be. I am totally happy with Legends existing as essentially we get a Pokemon game and then there's Pokemon Legends. Like this idea of just like a whole different game, or like this a whole different like style of game in the Pokemon universe that's like consistent and honestly looks a little more mature. I think that'll kind of satisfy a bit more people. And, you know, like I said, I worry that, like, as someone who doesn't like change, that the Pokemon franchise might change with this, but at the same time, I know it won't. Like, you gotta know deep down that, like, Gen 9 will happen, and Gen 9 will have, like, everything just like how every other gen has had their mainline games and stuff like that, but I think Game Freak obviously is recognizing the Switch is actually a valid platform. For one, it took them doing that. They didn't at first. We're not gonna beat FINI, I don't think. I'm just gonna make a bold prediction here. Bold prediction on my part. We're not gonna get to FINI, we'll get to FINI, but I don't think we'll do well against FINI. Yeah, so it's like, as someone who doesn't necessarily enjoy change, and like, despite knowing that at the end of the day there probably won't be too much change in long-term stuff, it feels really weird to think about what like the feel of Pokemon will be with more mature games in the series. Or just more serious games, you know? Sinnoh's the first trilogy. Kanto has 3 sets of games. Just hope shiny hunting is good. I feel like it's almost certainly going to have overworld shinies, which I always feel weird about. I don't think they're bad. They just have to be done right. You know? Because it's one of those things where if you part of the reason why like 1 in 8,000 or 1 in 4,000 still works, 1 in 4096 or 1 in 8192 worked was like you didn't even know there was a Pokemon, let alone if it was shiny or not, until you just encountered stuff. But like I feel like you're bound to pass 4,000 Pokemon throughout an open world Pokemon playthrough, and I know that sounds really dumb, and I know that it's not the right mindset to have, oh, well, everyone would have a shiny, and then they're not special, but it's like, but then every playthrough is going to have a shiny on it. Like, that's always one of those things that's like, but that's me. Since they said Pokemon's entering a new era or something like that, could that mean that Gen 9 or something in the future will be open world like Legends? I'm good without it. Sophie, let William take it. Come on. I personally don't want Gen 9 to be open world. I want Legends to be the open world Pokemon games, if Legends continues to be a series. That's I've made my opinion pretty clear on open world. And again, everyone can have their own opinion. That's the great thing about opinions, is we're all allowed to have our own, and it's totally fine. So I am not a big fan of that because it breaks the progression of a traditional Pokemon game, which Pokemon is one of the few franchises I think that has managed to decently pull off the idea of always having a formula, right? Like, I know there are people who criticize it and people who want the open world and all that stuff, and I think the right solution here is, especially now that Legends has shown up, is giving people a valid, separate set of Pokemon games that feature non-traditional gameplay. And it'll also, I think, be healthy for Game Freak as a company and development team, seeing as Game Freak's clearly like shown that we got thrown out of the den. Like, Game Freak's clearly mentioned in the past and shown and demonstrated that they want to mix it up, they want to do something different, and they've pigeonholed themselves. And they kind of in that situation, you got to do what the money is, and no matter how much of the community gripes that, oh, well, we didn't get this or we didn't get that, at the end of the day, the traditional Pokemon formula sells really well every single time. And I think they'll keep that, because that lets you keep their same, like, merchandising strategies and everything like that. Like, there's so much pressure financially and, like, community-wide to keep that the same. I think it's a smart idea to... And I guess really what I'm going with that is open world doesn't work well with the traditional Pokemon formula. I think the wild area showed it. Because while I know people really like the wild area, I think if you play it a little bit more, and for me personally, after you become champion, the wild area is incredibly boring. Especially, it makes Dex completion for me incredibly boring. As, alright, cool, like, I go into the wild area and just encounter a level 60, C-Dot. Those aren't level 60 anywhere, outside of, like, some ridiculous routes where it just lets you know, oh, this is the big leagues now. But just... Even though, like, there's so many varieties of Pokemon in the wild area, the fact that I know that every single Pokemon I encounter is going to be level 60, it made the wild area feel really bland to me. And I wouldn't be a big fan. Also, by the way, guys, link code in chat, pinned in chat, 42554255. Join up if you want to do some Dynamax raids. I just think the wild area, as someone who spends most of my time in a Pokemon game in the post game, I think the wild area made the game really boring. I think open world post game isn't fun, personally. Again, my opinion, totally fine if you have your own there, but I think having a whole open world series of Pokemon games, I think it's really creative that Legends is based around the idea of there aren't routes because there's not like towns. Like, I like the creativity that kind of came with that, and explanation as to why there aren't traditional routes compared to normal. I love that. I think that's really cool. So I hope that they continue Legends and it pulls away the pressure to make the mainline games open world, because not every game needs to be open world. Open world can be cool if done right, but you got to do it really right, and your game has to be built for it, I think. You named after Tony Stark. I should have guessed that. I was watching Marvel stuff this past week. What would the prices of Gen 4 remakes? Almost certainly $60. Also, the music stopped. Moods. Let's listen to Amped. Let's see what Amped's got for us. Tony Stank. Kanto is the same story told in 3 games. It does. What mechanics will be in Pokemon Legends? It looks like I love the look of those old-timey Pokeballs. Those look really cool. Like ones that look fresh carved out of a fruit or out of a nut, like they are in like canon. At least the old ones were. It was the same for you. What was the same for you? Sorry, I was rambling for so long. I don't know when you said that. But what part was the same for you? Breath of the Wild mechanics, I just need a bow only. A bow with a Pokeball on the end of the arrows. Do you think that the wild area was made as a trial to test how open world could work with Pokemon? I think so. I think that was kind of the idea. It was why the whole game wasn't that way. And I think it was them trying to test it. And I haven't played Isle of Armor, despite owning it. I haven't played it. But Crown Tundra shows how it should be done. If you wanted to go the route of making routes feel open world with an open camera, look at Crown Tundra and the fact that the game clearly has routes. It clearly has areas, and you clearly move through them in a certain flow. They weren't like just straight lines, but they were still there. Hey, Kaiser, welcome back. That's Wild Area and Let's Go is probably for. It's kind of figuring this stuff out, yeah. I definitely think Let's Go. The whole point of Let's Go. I'm actually gonna put one more. I'm gonna put one more raid for you guys to join. If anyone does want to join up, feel free. Would love to have you in here. So we'll put another up here. Said I want to do the raids with you guys. I don't want them all to be the challenge runs with only AI. If we have like one other like human player, it makes them a lot easier even. But yeah, so Wild Area definitely feels like kind of them dipping their toes in the water with open world mechanics without like completely changing the formula of Pokemon. But I would love to. I maybe they even realize this doesn't work super duper well with like a developed region. Like maybe this doesn't work. So maybe that's why they did Legends, and I love the concept. It seems like just a more mature concept. It seems, I don't know how fleshed out it is. Well, it'll take time to see that. We got a very tailored trailer, and even then it was still pretty rough around the edges. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what comes of it. I want to see more details on all these games. Trying to train up Geodude for Surge. Awesome, Mariah. Good luck with that. What's the reason for choosing 4255? I was just gonna try to use like my sub count for it, and it was like at 2455 or something at the time that I chose that, and I goofed and put 4255. So really, I just needed a random number that wasn't gonna accidentally be like a number that I had used in some kind of security pin code at any point. So I guess you got me. My pin code isn't this. So yeah, it was literally just, I need a number. I'm terrible at thinking of random numbers. So I just had to find a number I could use, and then I goofed it even then, and it made it more random. Haha! So, yeah. No, like, real reason for it. Just that's what it is. The confidence in the shed in my backyard. You got me. Like, super perceptive there, JT. Knowing that I had a shed in the backyard I don't even have. I don't know, maybe I'll have one soon. I don't know. Maybe maybe I rent a house instead of an apartment next, and then I gotta get a shed, and that'll be my code. And if you guys want to come over and hang out in the shed all creepy like, I guess I'll leave it for you. But yeah, I guess I still got 6 months on my lease here, but I'll be looking for somewhere else, because apparently we aren't going back to the office until at least Labor Day now. They moved it even farther. It's a combination to my heart. A combination to that is like and sub. and donate. No, I kid. Your best bet's evolving hype. Evolution hype. Alright. Well, alright, I'll run another solo one, I guess. Let's go for FINI. I'll set up a local raid this time. Don't invite others. Oh, nice. Jolteon. Sweet. But we gotta get Boldore and Tarantum to switch. So. I forgot that song swears. Which wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't consistent and, like, massively the most emphasized part of the song. Alright, let's find... Alright, so we're gonna try to get someone to grab the electric. Probably poison. And we'll go dark for now. Dislike, unsubscribe, and payback is the way to my heart. You got me. You got me dead on. Alright, let's do this. Thunderbolt. I don't want to use all my Thunderbolts, but, like, I don't have much of a choice here. I hope Pangoro goes down quickly. Is there a way to make it so your wallpaper changes every time you boot up your PC, or no? I don't know if you can make it do it every time you boot up your PC. I know you can do it where it rotates and changes. There's probably some way. There's probably a program out there. Honestly, Wallpaper Engine might do it. I know I used to have it set up where mine rotated through a couple slowly. Now I just have it set to 4 static images. What keyboard do I have? I have a Corsair K70. Or not K70, K65. It's red switches. That's really the part that you're hearing. This is just it's red switches. I like the keyboard. I've been thinking about building one, like building a custom one, using like some of the like cases and stuff you can buy. But that's incredibly expensive to build your own keyboard, so it's way low on the list of things to do. It would be really cool. I just cannot afford to do that at the moment. But yeah, just look at if you like the sound of it, look at keyboards with cherry red switches in it, or cherry browns. Personally, in hindsight, I probably would have gone for browns instead of reds. Because I think Mel got a keyboard for Christmas alongside, like, I got her a computer, like a desktop, and she got a keyboard to go along with that. I think it has brown switches and they feel really nice. Wonder why they did the announcement today and not tomorrow. Isn't the 27th of February Pokemon Day? It is, and it was at midnight on February 27th in Japan when they did it. So, yeah. You're right. It was early for us. You're right. Pokemon Day is tomorrow for the Western Hemisphere. However, right now, it's like 9 a.m. in Japan on Pokemon Day. It was midnight Pokemon Day when they announced it, when they dropped that trailer. 3D printed keyboard, easy hacks. You joke, but I could. You're not wrong. I just couldn't 3D print all the electrical parts, and those are the expensive parts. Granted, like, I was looking at a Plank keyboard, like, I guess base plate and case, because it just looked cool, and you know, I like having things that are a little bit inconvenient for the cool and uniqueness of them. And it's like an isometric keyboard would have been hell to use, but it would have been fun. And like, so the casing wasn't as expensive as buying the switches, and keycaps are pricey. But I could print keycaps, I guess. Custom DS. Is my DS not custom enough already? I thought that Sword and Shield were announced on Pokemon Day back in 2019. Were they? I know it was also a 10 a.m. announcement, so whenever it was announced midnight Japan. It's interesting that they choose that, but I guess it lines up. So like most of the world is awake at that point. Basically, it just the most inconvenient places to be is probably Japan with that, or like California. But yeah, so they do that then. I guess, was it announced on Pokemon Day? I felt like it was sometime in March. I felt like it was. I know it probably wasn't. I hadn't gone back and looked. But it would make sense. Alright, let's start doing the damage. Let's do a Shadow Ball, actually. Let's announcement dates. Yeah, you're right, actually. It was February. It was announced Pokemon Day last year. That's strange that they chose to do it, like, instantly February 27th Japan time. I wonder what made them do that. I guess, you know what it was? They could do it then and it was still, like, Friday for most of the world. I bet you that had to do with it. Had something to do with it. Basically, like, most of the staff wasn't having to work on a weekend, like in various Nintendo of America or Nintendo of Europe kind of places. Or just, like, Pokemon Company International kind of places. Yeah, I just checked and it was Pokemon Day. I know that was a weekday back in 2019 then. Kinda can't wait for Shining Diamond and Cleaving Pearl. But they're Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, right? Right? Please tell me I'm not going crazy? Or are you talking we're going to get another set of remakes, Mariah? It's just going to be various different versions of Diamond and Pearl so they can go through every single rumor name used over the past 6 years. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes of all this. Because, yeah, I guess like we'll have to see. I mean, I think it'll be really cool having... I'm good without it. Someone take it good. Oh, William. If we can get William an electric Pokemon, we are golden. But we're not. We're just gonna go through. Just gonna go through Tentacruel, and also hope William takes Tentacruel. That'd be a good one for him to take. Ah, we could have gone and gotten an item. Rusty Diamond and Dirty Pearl. You know what I mean? They look really cool, Mariah. They look really cool. I think it's interesting. It's interesting because it seems like a lot of it seems to take art cues from Let's Go. And they're obviously not Let's Go games. They're very clearly just like just pure remakes of Diamond and Pearl, just with 3D models instead of sprites. Like everything looks identical, and I love that aspect of it actually. So I respect that, and I respect the idea of, hey, another company can like do this. But it's a very interesting kind of twist, and it's a very interesting direction for Pokemon to go, I think, as a whole. It'll be interesting booting a Pokemon RPG, like what you would kind of consider to be mainline, usually. It would be very interesting to boot that, and it not say Game Freak, or not say made by Game Freak. You know, or really just to have another developer's name show up on there. Right? Like, we're used to, like, Game Freak and Creatures being like the names that show up at the front of like big Pokemon games, and now we're gonna have a different dev on there. It's got Abra first try. Awesome. That's great, Mariah. Congrats. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's really interesting to me how like vastly different these two Sinnoh games they just announced seem to be. One looking like it dives way into the like super bright and like rounded and safe and fun, childish. I don't say childish in a bad way, but like it very much has like this feel of being like a more inviting game, despite knowing that if it's a very faithful remake of the originals, like it's going to be pretty, it's going to hit pretty hard in terms of battles. But it still looks really nice and inviting, where like Legends looks more like more like well-worn and mature and everything. It's very interesting to see this like dichotomy in the games. And I'm really hopeful and really hoping. Good. Neither the electric. Why would you try to get rid of it, Luxio and Noah? Come on now, man. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, and it's very exciting to see. It's very exciting to see like a game that very much looks like it's going to be story driven with Legends. And I like the name even really comes across as Legends. Like you're listening to the Legends of Sinnoh. I'd love to see that with other regions too. I think Sinnoh's a good first choice for it though. I mean, Sinnoh's always been. Sinnoh was the point where the games transitioned into being such story games. You know, like before that, I mean, like, yeah, Team Rocket stole some Pokemon, go save them, and then like Hoenn introduced this idea of like real mythical, like legendary beasts, and like obviously again, like there are literally the legendary beasts in games previous, but like you start to enter this level of like what like would be gods in certain religions with Kyogre and Groudon, and then Dialga and Palkia and Giratina and all the late Guardians. So like they really went into it with Sinnoh, and I think that makes Sinnoh a really good choice for it being story driven. Yeah, oh, King Pao, welcome to the stream. Hoenn had a good story. I know, I loved Hoenn's story. I'm just saying, like, I mean, yeah, no, Hoenn had a great story. I am a Gen 3 kid, through and through. Hoenn is my favorite region, and that will not change. But I think Sinnoh's a good region with a lot of, like, mythos to it, right? Like, I feel like I said, like, I'm not saying, like, that's where the stories got good. I'm saying that's where, like, the stories started to get, like, mythical. More so. Like, I know Johto had some moments. Hoenn, you know, like I said, has Groudon and Kyogre, mythic, like, beasts that would be myths and, like, real-world stories. And so now you have that, like, legitimized, and, like, you have a game that is, like, telling the origins of Sinnoh, and that's really cool. It's so cool. It's so cool to me. But how you doing, Poe? How you doing, man? It's been a little bit. Hope you've been doing well. Nana Berry helped. Oh yeah, that for sure, Mariah, for sure. Nana Berries are great for that. Hey, Stream Egg, how you doing? Way. How's it going, Stream Egg? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hey, we got through FINI, guys. Hype. Hope you're well. I am doing very well. So, Stream Egg, what do you think of the announcements today? I'm excited. I'm hesitantly excited. You know, like there's such different games from what we're used to, or at least like very different from what kind of I think everyone was expecting. But I'm very excited. They look super promising. Doing good. Just had your lunch. All right, man. All right. All the better from the way. Hey, awesome. Well, any new games you're hyped for? I gotcha. I'll say, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream. I was initially like, oh no, when I saw the art style of the Sinnoh remakes, and then I realized why they were like that, and I was very excited. I was very excited to see them be true, like, remakes. Like, almost a remaster, if it wasn't for it being, like, 2D to 3D and really requiring, like, a rebuild from the ground up. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for those. And I'm very interested to see how they end up being, like, how they turn out with a little bit more of, like, the polish that's going to happen over the next, like, couple months. And Legends looks different from anything we've seen with Pokemon. And, like a Pokemon game solely focused on being an open-world game, I love. And I've mentioned I love the concept of it because it also means that I hope there isn't as much pressure for future, like, mainline games to be open-world. Like, I'd love the idea of just having, like, open-world Pokemon games. You can have, like, the audience that likes to play Legends, and an audience that just likes to play, like, just basically the Sword and Shield successors in Gen 9, you know? I think that's really nice, and I hope that I'm excited to see how that develops. I'm excited to see Pokemon enter this new era, as they even called it. Then Legends. So many wasted Pokeballs are incoming. Yeah, now you actually have to aim, and even more so than Let's Go. Alright guys, feel free to join up if you want to participate in the raid. Gonna try catching 5 Meowths. Best of luck, Mariah. You'll get them. Yeah, I love that, like, old Pokeball design. It looks so cool. I love it. Hey, we got Just Art joining up in here. Awesome, man. Awesome. Happy to have you in the raid. And hopefully we can get a Regigigas soon. Be back here having too much fun with Linux. Oh, nice. What kind of stuff you doing in there, man? You just messing around with it? Yeah, guys, I've been working on this, like, side project, kind of, like, Pokemon related, or very Pokemon related, for like, the past, I guess, week almost at this point. Oh, I'm so excited to get it all working. I'm getting really, really close. Want to know how old Pokeballs work? I looked this up recently, actually, like, literally within the past week. I looked up, like, the origins and, like, just information about Pokeballs and stuff, and what was it? It's like they were, yeah, they were made, from apricorns, according to, like, Pokemon lore. Like, they were hollowed out apricorns at first, like the old ones were. So I imagine that's what these ones are. That's just such a cool little, like, detail. I love it. I love the idea of these games being, like, essentially feudal Japan style times. Like, going that far back and, like, all the styles of the game being based off that. I am very, very hopeful that Legends does well. Be back in 30 minutes trying to put some IDEs on it. Gotcha. Yeah, you'll have fun finding some for that. JT, just write everything in Nano or Vim. Come on, man. Be a real Linux guy. Or Emacs. Possibly looks like Celebi movie Pokeballs work. It didn't look like an apricorn. True. Rip Twip. Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while. It'd be a great time for it. I just don't have the time anymore to put those together, unfortunately. Alright, yeah, we can ready up and just go for it. It'd be really cool. Like, right now would be the time to have those, wouldn't it? It did look like an apricorn. Yeah. It looked like it was made from something planty, you know, or like woody. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what comes of this. So like I said, it's a very interesting and unique idea of a concept, and like I think it's already more well received than like Let's Go or Sword and Shield were. Or like Sword and Shield, honestly, Sword and Shield had a lot of support initially, and then Dexit was it was announced that Dexit was going to be a whole thing, and it just tanked the idea of these games. Like immediately, everyone went from being like, okay, I mean, first outing on the Switch, it's Game Freak's first attempt with this kind of thing. Like that's cool. I mean, they have this big. I know like the whole feeling with like in the like Nintendo Direct that they gave more information. Excuse me. About like Sword and Shield, there's a lot of like, hey, well, I know even my mentality was like, oh, this looks really good. I mean, there's a couple like blemishes here and there, but like, you know, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. There's such a large scale to Pokemon in terms of just like supporting the concept of Pokemon and this idea of gotta catch them all and you'll have all your Pokemon. It's like, okay, cool, that happens, that's fine. Also, I definitely need to change Flareon. I picked it like we were going for Bulu. So like you have that kind of thing. It's like, okay, and then it's, oh, by the way, not all the Pokemon will be in it. And it's like immediately just tanked the reputation of that game. And I know Let's Go wasn't well received by a lot of people, just as the kind of game it was. Legends has gotten a way more welcoming treatment, I think. If you coming in and out since you're working, all good, man, all good. That's some good damage right there. I think I just patted myself on the back. I did just pat myself on the back, didn't I? I did not mean to. It's gonna be like, good job, whoever did that. Oh wait, it's me. I think I'll take Gloom here. But yeah, I don't know. These games are gonna be really nice. I think they're gonna be good. And I want to be hopeful. I want to be positive with them. I want to give all the support I can to this idea of trying new ideas in between the main cycle. And I think that's what like it should be. I mean, while I think it would have been great to get the previously kind of expected Gen like 8.5 that would have happened with the remakes, in the same way that like Oras was basically Gen 6.5, Heart Gold Soul Silver was Gen 4.5, like. Getting a Gen 8.5 I think would have been nice, and would have been very redeeming for Generation 8 as an engine and as just like a concept of games, but honestly maybe Game Freak realized they couldn't pull that off. There's a good chance they couldn't. You know? So, you know, maybe they just wanted to kind of push that out of the way, accept that part of the loss, you know, like the Gen 8 engine couldn't live up to community expectations stuff. Let's just push it, move on to other stuff, and give some like unique games and unique full-fledged game experiences in between the gens. And I think that'll work as a concept. Like if we got like a main set of Pokemon games at the beginning of a generation, and then all the trailing games after that were just up until the next like gen, the new gen was like different developers, different concepts, and all this like really I'll take Wonder Policy. I guess I don't really have... Oh no, did I not select it in time? Ah! I didn't mean to not select it. But yeah, I think it'll be I think this idea of like having these new games, or like these new concepts happen in between the main games, will be good. Because I think at the end of the day, Pokemon can't stray too terribly far from like its roots, like in the main games. I don't think that can happen. Just from the perspective of they wouldn't want to. They wouldn't want to change it up that much. This playlist is amped, and it really sounds like it. Alright, we got this. Grovyle will go down in probably 2 more turns, is my guess. Maybe not. Oh wow, we haven't actually hit it, never mind. I thought we'd already hit it. So 3 turns. I say it'll go down in 3 turns. That's my prediction here. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was 2 turns. I shouldn't have corrected myself. Nice. That's some good damage right there. Grovyle didn't even know it hit it. Didn't even have a chance to brace itself here. We're just rocking it. Alright, I'm good without it. I don't know. That's fair. Klang's not bad to take into FINI. It doesn't always hold up very well, so it makes sense to not take it necessarily. Let's go through normal. Just start. I think you have fighting moves. I think you have some fighting moves. So I think going up against normal here will probably be pretty good. Excuse me. Alright, up against Persian. Nice, nice. I'm super paranoid I'm gonna reset over Regigigas. Gonna try stunning it here. Yo, Yaira, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. What do you think of the new Pokemon stuff? So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna overhype it. I'm not gonna think of it as anything other than what they show us. But I'm optimistic. You need to remember to rename your Geodude Roxy. Name it to Roxy, or it's already named Roxy and you want to change it. Alright, hopefully we can take Persian down pretty quickly. Alright. Lay the stun down on it. Nice. Hopefully that helps. Name it too. Gotcha. Roxy's a good name for it. I like it. I'll use Moonblast. It's like I probably should have Toxic. I probably should use Toxic instead of Sunspore, to be honest. Laying down damage on it is probably better than preventing it from damaging us. I feel, at least. But that's also just my, like, attack every turn mentality probably shining through. I'm digging this playlist. It's probably not what I would usually run on the streams, but I don't know, I'm feeling it right now. After being tired, listening to the chill one like last stream, maybe listening to some amped music will help me stay awake. Definitely not the monster doing that. Alright, I think we're gonna do okay against Persian here. We're not, like, ridiculously effective or anything, but it's not crushing us. There we go. Nice. Nice. Seeking doing the damage. I don't think this is one to take necessarily. Yeah, if the AI takes it, that's chill. Jellicent wasn't really going to do much either way. The only thing it was going to do is resist the water a little bit. My hope here, I guess, is Grovyle doesn't get knocked out immediately, because I think Grovyle can do some damage. I know I can do some damage. I think overall we're not too bad off against FINI here. Yeah, and even Seeking's water, so it walls a little bit. Man, I should have taken the Misty Seas. FINI rematch. FINI rematch number like 28. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna Toxic and then I'll Venoshock. Or ooh, that's not gonna work, is it, with Misty Terrain? I realized that late. Nice! Grassy Pledge doing some damage. Yeah, okay, Persian can take a hit. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Figured that would probably be the case. I goofed. I goofed! Alright, that just gives me a normal max ooze. But max Starfall does more damage. So we're just gonna use max Starfall. Ooh, no, I guess never mind. It probably lines up pretty similarly, doesn't it? Since it's just regular effective, it's not super effective. Ah, I don't think these things through. Can you guys tell that I'm not the greatest of, like, competitive battlers? And I'm not the best with strategy? Alright, that could have been worse, that could have been worse. Gloom tanked pretty well. Poison Jab's doing some good damage. Grassy Pledge has been doing damage. That was a crit, nice. That's unfortunate that it took out Grovyle. Oh, it was a crit on Grovyle too. That's just like, you can't do anything about that. Oh well. Alright, so let's see what Max Starfall does from me on FINI. Not a lot, never mind. That is oof. That is oof. I guess, yeah, Gloom probably just doesn't have very great stats for that. We're gonna max ooze. I was on my bad for Dynamaxing. Probably shouldn't have done it. Probably should have let Grovyle Dynamax. But I think we got this. I think we'll be okay. Persian's a little low on health, but we have more than one life. Like, we're not going to get knocked out immediately or anything. Yeah, and it's not attacking Persian for some reason, which is great. Poison Jab's doing damage, doing some work there. Let's see what Max Ooze can do, since it should be super effective. Yeah, that did significantly more. Yeah, just better stats. Just better typing or better stats for that move. So, alright. Alright, with Grovyle back, absolutely FINI's going down this turn. Won't say GG's all around yet, but we're getting pretty close to the GG's all around. Nice, even Persian doing a good chunk there. And GG's all around. Another FINI down and out. That almost had like a rhythm to it. Like GG's down and out, another FINI, or GG's all around, another FINI down and out. Like some, I don't know, that feels like it's got some like rhythm to it. It didn't let you catch it. Oh no, Ariana. Oh, do you already have a FINI? Do you already have a FINI? Because it won't let you catch the legend twice in the raids. It'll let you run the raid, but it won't let you catch it if you already have it from the raid. Alright, and we are doing another run for FINI here. As we did not find a shiny this time, maybe. Or do you have Pokeballs? Do you have enough Pokeballs? Or are you just like flat out? Because I find myself forgetting to fill up on Pokeballs as much as I should with this, seeing as you're using like 4 every raid. Alright, but let's do another run here. I'm gonna put that code back up, 4255, 4255. There we go. Feel free, join up. Join up, everyone. I dig it. I dig this song. Alright, alright. Excuse me. Alright. We're almost to 1,700 Regigigas, guys. We've got a chunk over odds now. Not terrible, though. And, you know, it's to be expected every once in a while. can't have every hunt be like, you know, neatly under odds as the past several have been with the legends here. So this isn't unheard of by any means. All right, well, if anyone else wants to join up, you got a minute and a half to do so, and then we'll be getting on. We will be getting underway with the raid. There we have 1,700 Regis encountered. Hopefully we can encounter not that many more before we find our blue boy here. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get on to Gen 5 Legends. Because we're close. We're close. We have Regigigas, we have Giratina, and we have Cresselia. And once we get through this, I mean, like I've said before, I have Giratina prepped and ready to hunt over here on this cartridge. And yeah, then so like we're just ready. We find Regigigas and we catch it, just switch right in to the Giratina hunt. Just a little bit of trading to do, and then we'd be underway. So yeah, I want to knock these out fast. I'd love to finish up this like a challenge essentially of catching all of the Ultra Wormhole shinies that we can, all the legendaries in it, and all the Ultra Beasts. We're over the halfway mark at this point, so technically on the downhill at this point. I don't know what I'll hunt after that. I don't know what I would do like as my full-time 3DS hunts after that. Because, you know, I think after we get Cresselia, I'll take a break. I want to do some SOS hunting. It's been a long time since I've done some SOS hunting. So I'd love to do a little bit of that. I'll take Trevenant. I might keep Trevenant, too. But it's been a long time since I've done SOS on stream, so it'd be fun to do one of those. It'd be fun to do like DexNav or some like other hunting methods I haven't really done a whole lot of. I'd love to do some of those on stream and have some fun with that. Excuse me, I got the hiccup suddenly. SOS Lapras? It's possible. You have to have such a specifically set up Smeargle for it. But challenge accepted, honestly. I need to do that at some point. I don't know how set up we are to go for that grass type. I'd rather go through bug after getting poison. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. I'm not really sure how I feel about this one. I don't know. But yeah, so SOS Lapras, I've seen people do it. You need like Imprison and Perish Song, and like you need to be able to block all of its crazy moves. Is basically what has to happen. Like, it's one of those things where it's a pain in the butt to set it up, but once you've set it up, like, you're golden. Like, there's nothing that can go wrong after that. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so Just Art, you can go ahead and Dynamax on this one. None of the AI will. So if you have anything effective, definitely Dynamax next turn. If you have anything that'll do damage. Whew, that's a good chunk right there. Alright, that's good damage, that's good damage. I definitely think you will be able to use the Dynamax more than I would have. Like, neither of my moves are going to do much. I guess I'll use Drain Punch here since Horn Leech will actually be effective against FINI. Alright, awesome. Hopefully we can just lay in some damage right now and be done with it. Yo, Xeonator, what's going on? Thoughts on the new Pokemon games? I am hopefully optimistic at the moment for them. I am very excited by the concept of it, of Legends. It looks like it'd be a really neat idea, and I'm really excited to see what they end up doing with it, and what that ends up going going down, and like I think having like those true remakes, like what was their exact wording? Faithful remakes or something, I think was their wording. Like I think they'll be good. I think they'll really satisfy like the Pokemon purists, or like the Gen 4 purists, in terms of just being straight remakes of them. So I'm excited. I am excited for it. There's some, I know that people have pointed out a couple like flaws and just like roughnesses with the games and stuff, and like I think it's reasonable and totally fine to critique them in that regard. I mean, people want the best for the series. But I am hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I think the Sinnoh remakes are gonna be really cool. And if Legends catches on, if Legends does well and the concept works well, I am excited to see more Legends games in the future. I think having a whole separate open world like sub series in the Pokemon franchise would be a really cool idea. I think that works really well. What are your thoughts, Xenator? As long as you can get your Ghostly Demon Dragon. Mariah knows what she wants. Mariah knows what she wants here. Yeah, I mean, so I guess the Diamond and Pearl remakes are gonna have, I guess, will they have like access to the whole decks, or will it just be their 2 dexes? Like just be the Diamond and Pearl decks, like what you could finish with Diamond and Pearl? Because I don't think that was the full national decks, right? You had to transfer up. I say go rock, so that one of the AI can switch if they want. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. At the end of the day, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the games. It is really interesting seeing that the Diamond and Pearl games aren't being made by Game Freak, and like are being like sourced out to someone else. Who are they giving it to? Okay. All right, cool. That's not a bad pick. I think it might be unfortunate here. I think it's part flying, right? I think they look good for what they are. A 1-to-1 remake. A lot of people are upset they didn't put Sword and Shield engine. I think a lot of people were expecting that. I was kind of expecting that, and I will say I was actually pretty hopeful for the remakes to be in the Gen 8 engine, as essentially to come into the Sword and Shield engine and redeem the reputation of the engine. Because the thing is, like every time they've done remakes up till now, they've kind of felt like, outside of Fire Red Leaf Green, I guess, but like Heart Gold Soul Silver were Gen 4.5, Oras was Gen 6.5, so like having like a Gen 8.5 essentially with like a Diamond and Pearl remake that like fixed a lot of like the draw distance issues, fixed some of the performance issues. Like if you did that with this engine, or if you were able to like build that much better of a game in this engine, I think like what's this, like what's that camera? But like if you were able to if they were able to build like Sinnoh in this engine, like, and like have a free moving camera on routes potentially even, you know, and like really build it up like that, I think it could have worked really well, and it would have redeemed like Gen 8 as like an engine. But I think honestly this might have been it might be a sign that they didn't think they could. They might have been like, that might have been like their ideal situation. Like, well, we can't, it's not working. We got to start from scratch with something. And Game Freak decided to do Legends and, you know, contracted out this other developer to make the 1-for-1 remake. That might have been what happened. As long as you get to see what the first Pokedex looks like in Legends, it's gonna be a journal. It's gonna be a handwritten journal. I almost guarantee it. And I love that it seems like Legends, on top of just being such a story-driven and lore-driving game more than lore-driven, but like having that much, like, why would you pick that, Isabella? Come on now. And maybe this will help. I guess we're gonna go into a bug type here. But having such a like lore-driving game and such a story-driven game, and one of the big things they pointed out was completing the Pokedex. It's like you're building the first Pokedex. You're documenting this region. Like, that's so cool. I love that. That's such an awesome concept, I think. I'm very excited for that. Alright, super effective moves. So I don't think I'm going to do well in this battle, but I'll do well against FINI. Yeah, from what you saw in the comments. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing I also mentioned. Like, Pokemon's a community where you will always see the negative. You'll always see negative opinions about stuff. The Pokemon community is so large that, like, the vocal minorities around any given thing in the Pokemon community, or in Pokemon, the vocal minorities are larger than some games' fan bases. Like, that's how crazy, like, large this franchise is. You know? So, like, you're gonna see people, like, poo-pooing on every little thing. That's just how it is. Just hope they don't have a lack of content like Sword and Shield, and they don't put most of the content behind a DLC. That's fair. That's fair. I'd like to hope that Legends doesn't have a DLC. I feel like I'm getting conflicting, like ideas from the video itself, right? And it seems like Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, it sounds like it is the Legend of Arceus, right? It's like I feel like Pokemon Legends is going to be similar to like Pokemon Ranger or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like, it's gonna be a series of spin-offs, like a series of spin-off games. I feel like made by Game Freak, developed with the detail that at least the detail they're putting into their main games. Hopefully, this is a step in improving all that detail in general over the past couple years. But putting all this effort in, and like we get a consistent like side set of games like that. I think that'll be really cool. I'd love that. So, yeah, I don't foresee there being DLC in that. I think I stand by the fact that, and I admit that I kind of had like a negative initial reaction towards Pokemon having DLCs, and I get people being like, this should have been in the main game for how much the games were. But knowing Pokemon, the other option was releasing another $60 game that had these two things in it. And probably a game that has one and a game that has the other. So, I think from that perspective, it's still not great, but it's the lesser of two things they could have done. Caught your worst nightmare, what's that? Ash, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? You finished Little Nightmare 2 yesterday. Oh, nice. Story was great, but it's not scary. I think it'd be cool if it was like Let's Go, where you can still battle. It just looks like a big collection game, which isn't that bad, but it's not for everyone. Well, I mean, at least from what I could see, from what I saw, it has like a battle system. It has a full battle system. It's not just throwing Pokeballs around. Like, it seems like you can... It almost seems like there's both just, like, impromptu run up and attack a Pokemon with, like, your partner Pokemon. And there's also, like, a battle system. Because in the, like, kind of second overview video, like, that was during, like, the whole Pokemon Present thing, like, the overview of Legends, it looked like there was, like, a turn-based battle system, like a traditional Pokemon battle system built into the game that, unlike Gen 8, actually had, like, representative backgrounds. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what ends up coming of it. We got a year until Legends. We've got like 9 months until the Diamond and Pearl games. So we've got some time to see what they do with it. I will say, I hope especially for the Diamond Pearl remakes, the lighting engine changes a little bit. If they can update the lighting a little bit, I think that'll help tremendously with that game looking like a Wii game. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this game looks like a mobile game. I know a lot of people are saying that. It's like, I mean, you're saying it because it's cartoony, but I also get it. Like, one thing a company can do to cut down on the processing power of the game, like the processing requirements of the game, is killing the lighting engine. But at the same time, the lighting engine can make or break the look and feel of a game. So I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, this game, like, Legends, I saw people saying it looks so much worse than Breath of the Wild did, and it's like, Breath of the Wild used a different shading technique, so of course it looks different, and Breath of the Wild's shading technique was artistic. So, like, they could also make a shading engine change in like in Legends, and it could change everything. Except for the Gen 4 remakes, your brother said they look like a watered down version of Let's Go. See, that's kind of this weird thing where I think a lot of people saw the graphics and went, "Oh, this is like Let's Go." Like, it's not a like I can see where that kind of comes across. I can see where that opinion can come from. But like it's not like Let's Go though. It's literally Diamond and Pearl, but on the Switch. Like it's as one for one as you can make it with the hardware changes, with the hardware differences, and with like the visual upgrades. The battle like the kind of like drop in that it looks like of the battles, that looks like Let's Go. That looks very artistically inspired by Let's Go. I don't think that's a problem. I can see where people might be turned off by that a little bit. I can see that. But like, I think it looks fine. I think it looks fine. I do think it'll take a little bit to get used to like the chibi style. And I want to say honestly, part of what makes the chibi style look weird to me, like it immediately looked okay as soon as the camera panned away in the shot of like of the player in their bedroom right at the start of the game. You know, like Sinnoh has. It looked really strange having that camera looking at him, but as soon as that camera panned up into its normal position overhead, it looked fine. It's like, oh, that's what they're going for. So it'll be interesting. And you're playing through Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Your current team is Pikachu level 100, Venusaur level 100, Charizard level 100, Blastoise level 100, Alakazam level 100, and Hitmonchan level 100. You have 4 badges. Really making sure you don't have any issues there, man, I guess. I think that for a remake it's good. I understand why people would want it in Sword and Shield engine, but it's like a throwback and I thought it was pretty cool. I think, I think people were going to be upset either way. You had the people who would have been upset that like it wasn't exactly like the games they played as a kid. Or it just wasn't exactly like the Sinnoh remake. It wasn't exactly like Sinnoh. If a single like route was missing a little offshoot path, or a dungeon was slightly less complex or easier to get through, which admittedly would have been kind of meh. That's just been a general complaint, and like they really should take care with that thing. If you do all that, it's like they kind of go it gets like and you run the risk of disappointing a lot of people. But like this game will make those people happy, while the people who really just wanted to see Diamond and Pearl, but in this engine, like, I can see where they also might be like, oh, I mean, like, why would I get this if I can just play the games, like, normally? I think that's kind of where, like, having Legends kind of comes in, too. It's like, if you really wanted to see the landscape of Sinnoh, here you go. Like, there are no towns in it, and you can go wherever you want, and you can look at it all. So it'll be interesting to see. That's what I said to your brother. People say they didn't want it in Sword and Shield engine, but now they're upset with how they went with it. That's the thing, though, and I've mentioned it a couple times on stream. The Pokemon community is so large that the vocal minorities, no matter what you do, the vocal minority is larger than most communities. So it happens. It happens. You're gonna have people upset no matter what they did. No matter what they did, people are gonna be upset. Also, FINI down and out. I didn't even realize we got through that. So, a lot of people are happy. I've seen a lot of people very excited for what they look like. I understand why people would be upset, though. I totally understand that. But I think this will satisfy a lot of Pokemon, like, purists. And Legends will let them do what they want and make a more mature game for the people who want a more mature, more Monster Hunter-esque game, or just a more anything else game, So, I think it makes sense. I can appreciate the reasoning I could see going through their heads for what they did. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them. Oh, let's go for FINI again. I'm still so paranoid about resetting over Regigigas. I don't know why. I don't know why Regigigas, of all the Pokemon we've hunted recently, is the one that I'm the most paranoid that I'm going to reset over. But alright guys, Ah, never mind, never mind. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta re-put the code in. I hit A one too many times. Alright, put the link code in again. There we go. Now we're in. Now we're in. So yeah, I feel like my opinion on these games is going to go back and forth just over the coming months as we learn more information or don't learn new things. And if we learn more, we're kept in the dark. That kind of changes, you know, the perspective of it. It changes the information we know. Like we have all these kind of different like little things that will come up, and it's just in general. It's like 9 months until the first one of these things comes out. So you have time. Snap comes out soon. Snap looks exciting. We learned that it's the Lentil region of all names to use for a region, but that's the name they chose. So, I'm excited. I'm still quite excited here. And again, I don't think they're gonna be perfect. I feel like, you know, everyone's opinion still is that the closest thing to perfection Pokemon's had is Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So I don't think they'll be perfect. Pokemon's been struggling to find like steady footing over the past few years, or the past few gens, I guess. And I think they've turned the ship around, or they're starting to right the ship. They're starting to get it going back in the right direction here. So I think it's a good idea for them to kind of figure out, get the community's like support back under them fully before going into something like Gen 9. So I'm excited. We're going to get Snap in April. We're going to get these Diamond and Pearl games later on in the year. And then fairly shortly after, supposedly, we will be getting a new style of Pokemon game. We'll be getting Legends. And I'm excited. Excuse me, I'm excited to see that come up. I think I'm probably going to make this the last raid of the night, by the way. I know I'm probably saying that a little late for anyone who was thinking about joining up the next one, but let's join this one. I think this will be the last raid for the night. Hopefully we can get a FINI or a Gigas before the end of this one. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good set of announcements today. You know, it's some risky things, but I think they're done in a way that'll make them good. Just in general, I think it's a very safe play with those Sinnoh remakes. You're not trying to predict what like changes the community as a whole generally wants. You know, you're like, if you're just like, fine, we're gonna make one-to-one Sinnoh remakes. We're just gonna, you guys liked those, you guys want the Sinnoh remakes. Here they are. You know, like I think they're just going with that. They're just going like, look, here is what like the community wants. They want Sinnoh games, and clearly the direction we've been going in with like how we've modified the Pokemon franchise and mechanics and just general feel doesn't line up with what the people who want Sinnoh remakes want. So they'll get Sinnoh games. They will get pure Sinnoh games. I say go ground. And then I think Electric was after that. Might play a little Nightmares 1 and 2 for the collectibles. Go for it. I've been playing Spyro off stream. I've been playing through the Reignited trilogy on Steam. I have it on Switch, but it doesn't have achievements, so I bought it again on Steam just to play it with achievements because it was on sale. I got 120% in first Spyro game, and then I got all like the achievements which aren't related to the 120%, like which are all just like little like challenges in it. So I got all those, and now I'm working through Ripto's Rage. Okay. Let's gonna do the most damage here. Yeah, let's just use Earth Power. So yeah, I've been playing through that. I've been enjoying it. I enjoyed the bit I played on Switch. It's just like it didn't have the achievements, and I am someone who really likes achievements and being able to say 100%, like have 100% show up on like achievement lists and stuff. So I was working on that. I've been having fun with that. It's interesting to see. Speaking of how Pokemon's changed over the years, it's interesting to see how the Spyro like formula changed just between the first 2 games. You're terrified of Surge? It'll be okay, Mariah. You'll do fine. I mean, if you have Geodude, you'll be good. One thing I am really excited for with Legends, just thinking about it now, is like everyone's calling it just basically Pokemon Breath of the Wild. But like, if they genuinely were put significant effort and put significant trust into the idea of a like truly single player, just great experience, that could be so good. That could be so good. Whether or not they'll pull it off, who knows? Who knows what'll happen with that? But just the thought of them putting effort into a properly single-player game again, like, makes me excited. I mean, like, think about the wild area and how they're like, oh, you can see other people in it. I'm like, why? You can't do anything with that. It's just now there's just a bunch of people in here. So, like, you cut out that fat and just pure lean Pokemon, I guess new modified Pokemon like mechanics, but like just pure single player story driven collectathon mechanics. And it's not even necessarily fully like it is a collectathon, let's be real. The whole like goal seems to be completing the Pokedex. Go for the Mega Z move, Dynamax Rayquaza for your next shiny. Good idea, Juan. Will do. Only can be topped by Bidoof. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Legends. I'm very excited for that and to see more. Really, I'm excited to see more about it. I'm good without that because I want to have ground going into this electric fight. Yes, I'm very excited to see what will potentially come from Pokemon in the coming, I guess, year. We have 3 major releases in the next 18 months. Like, proper major releases of different styles, and man, am I excited that some of them are genuine spin-off games. Like just think about it. Think about it. When's the last time that we've had, like, proper spin-off games? Like, the closest thing we've had in the past few years, honestly, since I got back into Pokemon, the closest thing we've had to, like, proper spin-off games, because I'll count Let's Go close enough to being mainline games, but they're not really spin-offs. They pretty much follow in the same stuff. It's the same kind of way that, like, you could almost argue that, like, these Diamond and Pearl remakes are, like, spin-off type games just because they look so different. But, like, we got Mystery Dungeon remastered and re-released on Switch. Cool. Not the biggest of things, but it was still something. It was the first, like... It's the first thing since, I want to say, Super Mystery Dungeon that's been just a proper, like, game console spin-off game. I think almost everything else we'd gotten up to this point's been, like mobile game hybrids, right? Like, we got Quest, we got... I mean, Go came out. Go's its own thing. Go's massive. But, like, we had, like, Quest... And we got, like, a couple of like, the games that have kind of come to Switch, but have also come to phones. We got Masters. Like, we got a bunch of phone stuff. So I think, like, Snap, the major release that is the Diamond and Pearl games, and a major release in Legends coming in the next, like, year and a half. Like, we got some pretty cool stuff going on. You're excited for Skyward Sword, though? Yeah, I'm not a big Zelda person, so I'm not necessarily hyped about Zelda stuff, but... It seems cool. It seems like a good thing for the Zelda fans out there, so I'm excited for all of you guys. If we're being real, I'm almost like 100% a Pokemon guy when it comes to Nintendo stuff. I want to get more into Splatoon. I keep just not. Yeah, so I want to get more into Splatoon. I play Mario when they come out, and I'll like 100% Mario games, and then I just put them down. Like, there's nothing to do after that, right? Like, Mario doesn't release consistently enough. Where, like, Pokemon, I can make my own completion quests. I can go for a living shiny national dex. Excited for Splatoon 3? Nice. Yeah, Splatoon 3 looks really cool. I'm excited that that was announced, too. I'm very excited for that. Alright, so we'll catch this. We need to play Splatoon 2 before Splatoon 3 comes out. We do. We do. Yeah, I need to find some time. Just like, be like, hey, just like pop into like a voice chat on Discord and be like, hey, I'm playing this. Anyone want to join in? Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm gonna swap for this. I want the electric typing and I want thunder. And Venom Drench. Nice, nice, nice. Well. I'm gonna say go through normal. Maybe let one of the AI swap Pokemon here. Because Berserker's a good one to keep, I think. Berserker's a good keeper. So I don't need this. Someone else might want it. Or one of the AI project. Ooh, okay, that's actually not bad. Alright. What does acupressure do? Oh yeah, boost some stuff. Gonna hydro pump. Not gonna let Roxy learn self-destruct. Fair, fair. Yeah, I've never really used those moves. I have a couple on like competitive teams I've built just because like certain leads that are able to just explode are good in Gen 4, and I need to be building Gen 4 teams. So I've been trying to use it, but man, do I hate using moves that do damage to myself. Explosion's better. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, true. Like, genuinely just a better move. Like, they can't really make the effect anymore. I'm gonna skip this solely because of the audio, or the vocals being loud. Also has a lot of loud vocals. Why they gotta mix it where the voices are like audible? Come on, guys. I'm just gonna play my starting loop through music again. Whew, that was a good chunk of damage on us. Hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly. Alright, max steel spike. Do some damage. Nice, 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 nice. Good damage, good damage. That's most of the damage we're doing on every turn is that steel spike, I feel. Use Z explosion. The base power goes from 250 to 200. What? What? I'm not surprised, honestly. That's just so strange. This song reminds me of Daft Punk, honestly. Again, I think I mentioned this the last time I played it. Alright, we gonna get through Audino this turn? That'd be awesome. Oh, so close! Come on now. No Z moves. Just add him in, Mariah. Come on. it's so strange. It's just funny though that like the more powerful move has a lower base, just because what they just did like generic base powers for those moves, right? Like for the Z versions. Z self-destruct is 200 and goes to 200. Yeah, I mean, what, they basically become the same move, right? Like, because it's just like, it just Z's into a generic move. So like, yeah, if you just happen to be like part of a generic moveset that goes to, like a grouping that goes to 200 and it's like 250, it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that thing. I never really use Z crystals, so I don't fully understand how it works, but it's kind of bad, I feel. I'm good without it. I feel like it's kind of bad that I haven't used Z moves despite having put multiple thousands of hours into Gen 7. It's a fun fact. Oh yeah. It's always fun finding those kind of little things like, oh yeah, by the way, this thing that like is supposed to be more powerful actually is like 80% power. It like cuts base power by 20%. Alright, some electric surge on the battlefield. Nice, nice, nice. How many lives do we have left? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't have a lot of health. Uh-oh. Maybe some damage? Good, some damage, some damage. FINI can't do any damage to us, please. Yeah, I didn't realize that we were actually kind of like close to going down. Yeah, so we can't take any more losses. The cheer! The cheer! Dude! Dude! That was great! Looking at me with sparkling eyes. Does that mean it's shiny this time? Why did I almost reset the... Someone tell me why I almost just reset the 3DS on the title screen. I feel like I did less damage with that than I did with just normal thunder. Alright, we get some steel typing in here now too, which will be good. Yeah, Berserker's not bad. Berserker's not a bad Pokemon to have in here. We were just such low health with him. And hopefully we can end with, like, this song. Alright, alright. Not bad. Good thing I got the heal. Alright, alright. Nice, some more thunder. Oh, and paralysis, nice. That helps a lot. Some more max lightning. Can we get into the red? We can get it into the red, yes! Yeah, baby. Woo. That's close. All right, we got this, guys. We got this. This Torchic isn't shining yet, but still going. You got this one. You got this. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that shiny Torchic. Fini's doing some damage. Fini's trying its best. All right, all right. Come on, there we go. This is it. This is it. Fini down and out. Last one for the night. GG's all around on that one. That was crazy. The luck of the cheer healing Pincherin was awesome. Came in clutch. Fini down and out. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, so let's see if we got any shinies from that. Maybe it'll be like Tuesday, where we ended with a shiny. I don't know, I feel like it'd be very unlikely for us to get a shiny, given that we just got one like last stream on the Dynamax stuff. Alrighty, we'll do one more Regigigas just while I finish up here, saving and making sure all the records go through. Yeah. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun hanging out and talking about the new games and everything, guys. All right, here we go. Final encounter of the night is not shiny. Excuse me. Excuse me again. So thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Excuse me a third time. But thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Thank anyone that liked, anyone that subscribed. It's always fun hanging out with you guys and stuff, and it was good talking about the new games. You know. Yeah, excited to see what comes of those, and we'll be streaming some more. Hopefully more than this past week. This past week was kind of just sporadic in terms of like when I was able to stream, when I was feeling the stream. Had a great time. I'm so glad you were able to join Just Art. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, so thank you guys again so much for watching the stream. We'll be back hopefully sometime this weekend. Yeah, and so until next time, everyone, take care.
You take it all so well, and I'm mesmerized. I know it's hard, but you can rest your mind. It'll be alright, I don't wanna leave, I need you. We could be the light, so won't you run away with me tonight? I could be the one that you've been wanting.